I meet a lot of leaders like you who are at the CXO levels, or most of them are so stressed. Most of them don't look happy. Most of them, I found you was completely different from them.
Pick up an area where you love that area. I'm not saying just work has to be enjoyment, right?
Yeah.
Every part of your life has to be enjoyment. Right? It's all about how you think and how you have your mindset on specific task that you're going to handle.
Or managers or senior managers have worked for 10, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. There's always this thing that they want to do something else. Nobody seems to like that 9 to 5 job.
There's a very thin line between work and life, and we need to know how to kind of draw that line, right? I don't want to work 9 to 5, or I don't want to do a job as such, but then I want to become an entrepreneur, I want to do my own business, whatever it is, right?
The greatest leaders always look at how do I create my next set of leaders.
The more secure you feel about yourself. I have always visualized myself saying that who is it that person can take up the role that I'm doing. If Kaushik is my boss, I wouldn't mind being a person working under you. So accepting the fact that I'm not the only person who is going to be the boss always.
They say that when your passion becomes a profession, then your profession becomes an obsession. Hi everyone, welcome to this brand new podcast where we talk to senior leaders, influencers, coaches, people who have done so much for the society. And today I have somebody who's very special. So without much ado, let me invite Vijay. Hi Vijay, how are you?
Hi Kaushik, doing
Thank
good.
you for being here.
My pleasure.
Let me quickly introduce Vijay. Vijay is someone who has been a corporate leader. He has got 30 plus years of experience, have done a lot of CXO roles. And coincidentally, he has been my mentor also in my corporate days. So thank you, Vijay, once again for being here and talking to us.
Sure, my pleasure.
So, Vijay, let's start this podcast by doing something funny.
Oh, sure.
Not funny, but something which we really need to calm down before a podcast.
Oh, okay.
Right? So let's do
Sure.
some breathing.
Oh, okay, sure.
We'll do something called as box breathing, Vijay.
Okay.
Where we will inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll
Okay.
exhale 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, okay.
And we do that together.
Should we
Right?
hold it like this?
Yeah, we
Oh,
do
okay.
that together.
Okay. Should we
So
close our
inhale,
eyes?
Yeah, close your eyes.
Okay.
Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. You can open your eyes now, Vijay.
Thank you.
So how are you feeling? Peaceful?
Yeah, yes, I am.
So Vijay, before we go ahead, I would also like to you to tell the audience a little more about yourself.
Sure. Kaushik, you and I worked with Hewlett Packard for quite some time. In the last few years, few months, I've been doing some roles which are more of a consulting CTO, CEO, both defining business strategies, helping put technology roadmaps. For the few companies, I'm on the advisory board, if I were to say, some small companies, some not so small, a little larger companies as well, helping them devise their technology roadmaps as well as see how they can improve their revenue streams. And obviously, the last 30 years, I've worked with some of the large customers that you are aware of. Some of the employers are Hewlett Packard, Wipro Technologies, TCS. I've associated with TCS in the US as well as in India way back in 2005. I also worked with another company called Collabra Digital, where I transformed their organization from a pure staffing to a services-based organization. So, all in all, while I come from a manufacturing background, being a mechanical engineer, the initial part of my career where I worked hands-on on machines and lathes and your drilling machines and so on, and then moved slowly into design and development of some of the auto components. Then slowly moved into the software of arena, if you were to call in those days, right? So yeah, it's been an enriching experience.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Vijay, 30 years is a very long period. And one of the things I've noticed, I know I'm meeting you after a long time. One of the things I've always noticed is whenever I see you, you're full of energy, full of positive energy. And I always see you doing new things. Um, so what's the secret? I mean, how can you maintain such positive energy, Vijay?
I don't know about the positive energy, Kaushik. Some people like it. Some people may not be so fond of being so positive about a lot of stuff, right? But I think it's probably something which I've got inborn, I would say, and at the same time, I've cultivated it to how I can utilize it for my career, my professional life, my personal life. It's mainly about how you can view things. It's see, like they say. You view something positively, it manifests itself, right? And a lot of things, why it may be a saying that people have, but I've seen personally that whatever I kind of think I should do, and you think it positively, it has resulted in positive outcomes. And another thing is the people around us as well, right? When you start talking positively, thinking positively, doing something good, people around you also kind of join in, and that becomes larger in terms of giving outcomes as well. So that it's cycle, I would say, right? When it's a virtuous cycle, people call a lot of things. This is also probably one of them, I would say.
Oh, yeah, it's a virtuous cycle.
Yeah.
But typically when I work for corporates for 20 years, and I meet a lot of leaders like you who are at the CXO levels or very senior roles they are playing. I always feel that most of them are so stressed. Most of them don't look happy. Most of them, um, I would say, do not give me those positive vibes. But I think I found you was completely different from them, and hence I asked that question.
I think Kaushik, see, for example, you worked 20 years and you became an entrepreneur after that. I think if you like doing something, then it's not stress, right? That's why I keep telling people, a lot of youngsters, when they come out of college and they join organizations and we have chats, right? Pick up an area where you love that area, where you can be passionate about that specific either a career or a job that you want to do, or you want to achieve something, or ambition that you want to go after. You got to develop that ability to pick where I can really give my 100%, right? It cannot be like you wake up every day and then say, oh my God, I need to do this one. Because that will create stress. Because the very fact that I am working a 9 to 5 job, I'm working a Monday to Friday, right? I mean, every day you need to enjoy. I'm not saying just work has to be enjoyment, right? Every part of your life has to be enjoyment. And when you do that, I think the stress automatically takes a backseat. Yeah, I mean, you will probably end up having difficult situations, but that that also enables you to take up challenging things rather than saying, oh my God, it's going to be stressful for me, right? It's all about how you think and how you have your mindset on specific task that you're going to handle. And especially when you start liking something, for example, you have been doing this for the last 10, 12 years now, and you start liking it, right? I mean, there's nothing called stress as such, because the problem with stress is you start passing that stress to your teams, and that is not what we are supposed to do, actually, right? Because you are supposed to absorb, cushion that stress, so that you're not going to pass it on. And if you are not liking what you're doing and if you're not passionate about it, it becomes challenging.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. But you talked about a 9 to 5 job, and I see that a lot of people who are leaders or emerging leaders or managers or senior managers have worked for 10, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. There's always this thing that they want to do something else. They want to probably open a company or do something. But I realize that nobody seems to like that 9 to 5 job anymore. Or I don't want to generalize, but most of the people don't like it. So, what is the way people can like the 9 to 5 job? I mean, ultimately they can switch, but it's like this: to enjoy something in future, you're not enjoying your present.
Yeah.
So, what message you have for people like that? How do leaders or emerging leaders like the 9 to 5 job, Vijay?
See, I somehow am not a proponent of a 9 to 5 as such, right? Uh, See, in today's world, Kaushik, right? Let's be very honest about it. I may need to go and, let's say, attend somebody who is in a medical emergency, and I cannot say that, okay, 9 to 5 I'm going to work, and then I'm going to go and attend a emergency at 5 o'clock after my work is done, right?
Yeah.
If, let's say, tomorrow there's a marriage of a friend that I need to attend for a couple of hours, right? I don't need to say, okay, I will attend 9 to 5 and then I'll go for after 5 o'clock. Maybe I'll figure out if there's a reception that is there in the evening, I'll go, otherwise, I will not go. It can't be like that, right? So, there's a very thin line between work and life, and we need to know how to kind of draw that line, right? There'll be calls that we all take maybe at night, 9 o'clock sometimes. Maybe at the same 11 o'clock someday I'll be attending something which is related to my personal work as well. So let's not put a hard boundary on 9 to 5, because that makes you more stressful as well, right? Yes, today I've done some chores in my house. I'll get it done and I'll go to the office and I'll start focusing on my work, right?
Yeah.
That's one part of the thing.
Right.
And the second part of the question was about, hey, how do I kind of make sure that I don't want to work 9 to 5, or I don't want to do a job as such, but then I want to become an entrepreneur, I want to do my own business, whatever it is, right? It could be, there's no small or big things about it. I think it's like the grass is greener on the other side always, right? Entrepreneurship has its own challenges and problems and so on. Yes, we all want to become our own bosses, right? But even in the corporate life, nobody stops you from being your own boss, actually, right? It's just about how you bring your best in the job, your work that you're doing. It's about how you motivate your team to rally behind you and they give their best every day, so that I keep telling this, right? Any senior leader that we call, right? We are all successful because there are people who are helping us become successful. We shouldn't forget that. So when you become an entrepreneur, are you ready to sacrifice all those support that you have, and can you run the marathon alone for a longer duration of time? Now, when a lot of people cannot do that because they know that there is a lot of support ecosystem around them, and then they think, okay, when I want to become an entrepreneur, oh my God, there's nobody suddenly. It's me, I should do. So unless we have that mindset that I am ready to do everything myself, uh, it doesn't matter, right? Including closing and opening the door of the office, to coming and setting up a lab, or it could be something coding yourself, or preparing a Excel sheet or PowerPoint yourself. You've got to be ready to do all that. I think when you're ready to do all that, then you can think about becoming an entrepreneur, doing something on your own, or maybe you can collaborate with somebody else and do something. Don't get hung up on a 9 to 5. I made a 9 to 5 as a comment, but then don't get hung up on 9 to 5. It's in today's world, like, saying a 9 to 5 is like saying I'm not going to see my WhatsApp personal messages, or I'm not going to see my social media accounts right through the day from 9 to 5. You invariably do that, right? So take it easy, but then make sure you give your best, whether you're doing it at home or at office, whatever. Just give your best at that moment in time. I think it'll all be said. So
Nice.
yeah.
Okay. One other dimension when you were answering that question was to give that gratitude to your employees.
Yeah.
And I guess whosoever is watching this podcast, remember, guys, for we leaders, we are we because of you.
Very true. Very true.
Nothing
Yeah.
without you guys.
Yeah.
Right. But I always feel that as a mentor, Vijay, our main idea is to create our next set of leaders.
Absolutely.
I think the greatest leaders always look at how do I create my next set of leaders. And I always saw that as a mentor, you have done that religiously, day in and day out. So, what is the mantra behind it? How do we really mentor these young leaders in today's world, Vijay?
Yeah. I think good question, right, Kaushik? First and foremost is we should eliminate the sense of insecurity that we have in ourselves, right? That's the most important thing a leader can exhibit to his or her team, because the more secure you feel about yourself, your capabilities, what you bring to the table, it will rub off on your team as well. That's number one. Number two, when you do that, when you're sensing, you're giving your team the sense of security about that, right? The second thing, you should always tell your team, or motivate or coach your team, rather. I'll not use the motivation, but then coach your team is, hey, my role is up for grabs. the day that you guys are stepping up, I'm going to get out of the way. I think that's something which a lot of leaders exhibit, I've seen, and that's something which I had cultivated a long time back. For whatever reasons, I don't know, it just came into me, and I thought that's a very, very positive thing to do in a team. And I have always visualized myself saying that who is it that person can take up the role that I'm doing, right? Because that will also enable me to challenge myself to take up another role or another assignment or another project or whatever you may want to call. And it doesn't matter what level you are. You could be a 2 year experienced person or a 10 year or a 20 year, 30 year. It doesn't matter at all. Right through, it is always important for us to tell the team that, hey, I want, and believe me, Kaushik, I have also kept telling my team a lot of times that I wouldn't mind working you when you are my boss. Like for example, if Kaushik is my boss, I wouldn't mind being a person working under you actually. And we should get into that mode, because in today's world, it is very easy for people to learn and become something, and you never know who is going to become a larger organization, who is going to hire you, and something like that. And we should be very open about it, right? So accepting the fact that I am not the only person who is going to be the boss always. I'm not going to make my team feel insecure, make them feel, say, as though that their job is to make sure that they need to keep growing continuously, right? So these are some of the things that we should as leaders continue to do, that will enable us to groom next generation of leaders. Because when you do that for 10 people or 20 people that you are having as reportees, that we call in our corporate lingo, they will in turn behave like that, and they'll become more mature than you and I are, right? The sooner that they are more mature than we are, let's say we became whatever we are at 30, right? And they become the same at 15 years of experience. I think the world will be a far better place to actually live.
Wow. I love this podcast, Vijay. I love your answers. And the way you said, my role is up for the grabs.
Yeah.
I think very less people, very few leaders who tell that statement, because there's obviously a little bit of risk involved. But if you can do that, the world will change, corporate lives will change, a lot of people will get a lot of
Yeah.
new opportunities, and that's what we all need to create as leaders. So
Exactly.
thank you for that answer. Thank you for that answer. I'm going deep now. I'm really liking this podcast, and I feel that one of the things which is very important for us also to is as leaders to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
I always feel that we take care of employees, but we generally don't take care of ourselves.
Very true.
Um, I don't know. I mean, when I have also seen when we become senior leaders, we become a little more lonely.
Yeah. Yeah.
At some point of time, we had so many friends, and now maybe lack of time, lack of some other resources or constraints, you only few friends now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have seen you maintaining that relationship. A lot of people are connected with you, and I would also like to congratulate you. I'm seeing you more fit, and I think I was talking to you, and Vijay, by the way, had shed 15 kilos in the last 2 years. With that CXO kind of role, he has shed 15 kilos in the last 2 years. So I would like to hear that secret. What all we can do? How did you do that, Vijay?
Sure. In fact, to first part of the point you made, right, becoming lonely as people take up leadership roles. I think you get ready for those things, right? In fact, just yesterday, one of my ex-colleagues, she took up a senior role in one of the organizations, and she was just messaging me, and I said, "Hey, I think whenever you feel lonely, you think that you are feeling lonely, just give me a buzz." See, you got to create that circle of people. Like the circle is small, but then you got to create that small circle of people who can pick up your phone at a day or night, and then be able to listen to you, just hear to you, and give you some respite or throw out your frustration and get some inputs from them, right? So you got to get those small group of people is what I would tell for those who are there. And again, the same thing, right? As you grow in your career, obviously there's lack of time, and maybe to some extent, I think we lose a sense of discipline that we have developed when we are children, right? There is a routine that we have established. There's a discipline that we have established, especially when you're 20s and 30s. You have those things, but then slowly you just let it go. And those I think are very important, and especially people who are 30s and 40s. And because for me, we should see more of people who are in their 30s who are the CXOs, they were taking up those roles, not just people who are graduated from the elite colleges like IIMs and IITs, but also others. I think there are a lot of other people, smart guys out there who can take up those senior leadership roles and drive the organizations, right? I think couple of things. One is obviously, don't forget your roots, where you come from, the discipline with which you can continue to lead your life. I know there are going to be challenges. Every day is not going to be the same day, but try to take those lessons that you have got in your childhood, from your parents, from your grandparents, and those kinds. Regarding my own journey, Kaushik, the reason I am telling that is because I myself have been uh, guilty of throwing away in the winds those disciplined life that I had. The last 2.5, I think it's 2.5 years that back, what I did was I went to one of the doctors. I had some foot pain at that time, and he said, he just looked at my weight and he said, obviously, it's very bound to you. We are bound to get these things because of the fact that you are almost getting near obese, right? And he said, you're 90 kilos now, and another 2, 3, 5 kilos, you'll be obese. You'll be
Oh,
categorized obese, right? And I felt, oh my God, what happened to me, right? And he said, you should reduce almost 18 to 20 kilos. I said, what are you talking about? I mean, is it really possible, right? Then I decided, okay, I'm going to dedicate every day morning 1 hour for myself. And it was hard initially, obviously, right? Because you put on something for 20 years and you need to get out of those 20 years of a lot of stuff that you put in your body, right? But then slowly, gradually, I started disciplined life, uh, not having odd hour foods, junk foods. I mean, the junk foods are the main reason anyway, right? So, and working out regularly for the last 2.5 years, I think those things helped me. And in fact, about a month back, my son took out my photograph 3 years
oh, is
back,
it?
and he just matched my photo, and he said, you should probably go and market this, and you'll probably make up a lot of money by between using this two photographs.
Oh,
What was
nice.
before, what is it now, right? But then it's very simple actually. It's just that giving 1 hour of time for yourself in order to make, because once you do that, you'll become more productive, you'll become more smarter, you'll look at the world in a different way, and you'll think about yourself, oh my God, if I can achieve this, I can achieve anything in life, right? Because 15 kilos is not easy actually, right? And
Yeah.
if I can achieve that, then I can achieve anything else. So it's
Wow.
like, it goes back to Kaushik. We have been talking about it, right? You need to nourish your body, mind, and soul, all three of them. And if you're not taking care of your body, then how can your mind be helping you in that way, right? So in whatever you want to achieve, your mind is important, but your body is not allowing you to do it. For example, if you're not taking care of your body, your mind will not be active, it will not be able to focus on the work that you need to do. So these are some of the things that I think will help you as well.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. So, viewers and leaders, I hope you would, learn from Vijay's story and try to be more fit, more healthy, and that's the key to look at the world in a different way, like Vijay said. Right. So, Vijay, going back to the corporate life, I always feel that people from India globally, we operate different ways, and I see that you've got so much of global exposure. You met so many global leaders, Indian leaders. I don't want to differentiate, but still culture plays a vital role. So what do you think we Indian leaders have in terms of you know the good things, and what do you think we can improve? Because I feel leadership doesn't come by default to us. We get into a following mode, where the following mode is also important, because they say following is the first step towards leading. But at some point of time, you need to switch to a leader also.
Yeah. Yeah.
The greater the leaders know when to lead and when to follow. But what is your message for we Indian leaders? How can we be much better?
Never tell that I'm not a follower. A leader will also be a follower all through the time that that person is supposedly people call that person leader in whatever sense, right? Because if you are not willing to explore, experiment, learn on an ongoing basis, and where do you get all these things, right? Because as an individual, any of us cannot experience everything in life, right? There are a lot of things that other people would have experienced, and whether it doesn't matter whether the person is more in age than me, or his person is a lesser age than me, right? Because everybody will have some experiences that we can take actually, and those experiences are going to make us smarter and look better, talk better, behave better as well, right? So first thing is, a leader is also a follower, right? That's important. The second thing is about, see, in Indians, you know today, right? We are ruling a lot of corporates out there, right? Whether it's in the US, whether it's in Europe, whether it's in India itself. In fact, I would say India is a factory for leadership for the world actually, because uh, and today, if you see, even in political circles, right, you have great leaders that we people start looking up to, that we have, and similarly corporate leadership as well, right? And even if you go historically, like cultural thing that you brought, right? Even if you go back to our mythology that we have, whether it is Ramayana, Mahabharata, Chanakyas that we had, we have never been short of leaders. And culturally, I think we are a culture rich in heritage, where we have got those leaders that we can look up to actually, and that has probably rubbed off on all of the generations that have passed on. Whether the you can go back centuries, you can go back a few decades, where you talk about Mahatma Gandhi and later people that we had, Subhash Chandra Bose and all the others that we had as well, right? So we had leaders all through the life, all through our history as well. So it is easy to learn, and even in our own houses itself, right? While we compete a lot, we also keep looking up to people, right? Our parents, our grandparents, our uncles and aunts, and our cousins. So there's a lot of competitiveness that brings in the for us to become leaders inherently. Unlike probably some other countries where uh, achieving some small things are probably glorified, whereas here you got to really achieve some great things to people say that, oh yeah, this guy has achieved something, right? And that makes us to become leaders, I'm thinking. So that is one part, right, where there's no dearth for us, whether it is culturally, whether historically, whether it is family oriented. We have leaders right across that will help us groom ourselves to become leaders, right? Now, for the youngsters who are there today, I think we got to be open about it, right? I've seen a lot of people. Uh, I'll not say generally everybody, but a lot of people that I meet recently. Oh, why do you need somebody to lead a company? Why do you need a leader to tell me what to do? Yeah, I mean, i- as a society, we are also very adaptable society, right? We give a lot of freedom to our youngsters. We also, at the same time, we criticize them in a very nice way on how they can bring that qualities in them. The only reason that, especially at home, we have high standards is because they want us to become better every day, right? And that becomes that usually takes you to the leadership roles as well. So uh, most important for youngsters is uh, don't just show away somebody, oh that person is experienced or old and that cannot, he or she cannot understand what's happening in today's world. I think it's important for us to experience and understand what those people have undergone and then learn from them. That only will, like for your previous question, right, that will make you a leader in 15 years rather than taking 30 years. And that's what we need in today's India. We need young leaders rather than somebody becoming, oh I will lead a company or I lead a country at, let's say, 60, 70, 80. That's not what we need. We need people who are like 30s and 40s who can lead companies, who can lead countries, and that's what we need. So I think it comes from your home, from the way you, the outlook of life that we can develop ourselves, right? Look at the people around you, irrespective of age, try to learn from them. Just because you're a 30-year-old doesn't mean that you shouldn't listen to a 22-year-old or 23-year-old just because that person's just graduate or something, right? Everybody has something to teach us. If you learn, the faster you learn from each of these people, the faster you become a leader.
Wow. I think it's a great message for the young leaders who are watching this podcast on how you can learn from Vijay's experience and his thought process and quickly achieve something which we took a lot of time. Maybe whatever we have achieved in 30 years, you guys can achieve in 10
Oh
years,
yeah,
provided
absolutely.
you can know what works and what doesn't work.
And they have a lot of
Exposure,
exposure nowadays, right? Which
experience.
we didn't have at
Yeah,
that point in time. The
so true.
tools that they have are really very easy to have today. So
Wonderful,
yeah,
wonderful. So a
and they
lot
have.
of great messages today, Vijay. Right.
Sure.
Thank you for that. And we're in the last section of the
Oh sure.
podcast
Okay.
where we have some fun with our
Okay. Okay.
with our guests. So are you ready?
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
It's going to be a quick rapid fire. So I'm going to say a word, and whatever word comes in your mind, you just have to tell the audience.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
The
All right.
first one is life.
Life is fair for everybody. It's
No,
fair.
Vijay, one word.
Fair. Fair. Fair.
Fair. Life
Yeah.
is fair. Okay. Work.
Passion.
Work is passion. Very good. Wife.
Complimentary.
Complimentary. Okay, that's nice. And learning, Vijay.
Always.
Always. Learning is always. Leadership.
Teaching. Experience.
Teaching and experience. Money, Vijay.
Important to a certain extent. Important.
Wonderful. Friends, Vijay.
Friends are always important.
Wonderful. And the last thing, Vijay, spirituality.
Nourishing the soul. Nourish. It's
Nourishing,
a nourishment.
nourish the soul. Wonderful, Vijay. And I wanted to see if you have any question for me. I know in podcast generally it happens one way, but I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation, the ideas you have, the thought process which you have, and the way you have kind of connected all the dots. I think this is a podcast which is more like a book. I mean, we were reading Vijay like a book, and if you can see this podcast and learn from every word he just said, I think it can be a great learning from for all of you leaders, either emerging leaders or new leaders or senior leaders, or in general people. Why leaders, right?
I
Because
think you should tell people also, right? Because you quit your corporate life and you start your own. And obviously, we are all like, why is Kaushik doing this at such an engage? Because you are very well placed. We were having fun together when you are working with HP, both of us. You suddenly took a decision and good, it's worked out well. So you need to probably give some tips to people jumping into that. Hey, I don't want a 9 to 5. I want to become a.
yeah,
I mean, I know you are not a 9 to 5 person. You have a business of your own, and it will take a lot of toll on you as well, right? So, what do you give suggestions for people who are aspiring to become an entrepreneur?
yeah. I think in my life, when I worked for Vijay, you know it, I worked for 20 years for corporates like Wipro, GE, and HP. I had small stints in the US, UK, Australia, um, and I did a lot of traveling because of by virtue of work and IT. It becomes very easy for you. So when I extensively traveled, Vijay, I realized that we Indians are so good when it comes to science, when it comes to medicine, when it comes to attitude in general, when it comes to hard work, smart work, research. You name it, we are there.
Right.
Um, but when it comes to leadership, when it comes to taking initiatives, when it comes to branding yourself, when it comes to marketing yourself, uh, I felt that we should do something there, right? Even if it's a small drop in the
Sure.
ocean, I felt that I should contribute there, and that's why this Indian Leadership Academy, which is my company's name, came into existence.
Nice.
I want to create more Indian leaders for the global audience, more inspire people to be leading, not just professionally but also personally, like
Yeah.
you have done it for yourself, Vijay. So that's how I came into this, and they say that when your passion becomes a profession, then your profession becomes an obsession.
Very true. Very true.
This was a quote of mine which I wrote some time back. So now I'm feeling, in fact, when I changed, I was feeling that can be my future obsession: learning, leading,
Got it.
spending time with people, right? Learning from people like you, and I pass it on. I mean, I feel as a leader, I'm a postmaster. I take it from you and I give it to somewhere, and that's where I take pride
Sure.
that I have done that. I'm a messenger in general. So this is where I changed, And I feel, I don't know whether my entrepreneurship journey has been profitable or not, but the Almighty God is taking care. I'm a big believer of God. And in fact, he is the CEO of our company. So whatever he says, I do it. And last 8 years, I've been very happy with myself that I
Sure.
have taken that
Sure.
decision, and I have support from people like you.
Sure.
So thank you, Vijay, for asking me that question, and thank you everyone for being in this podcast and watching us live. I also wanted to thank Roshan for videographing this. So thank you, Roshan. And
Thank you for having me.
And I would like to give a hug to Vijay for being my mentor, for being there whenever we needed you.
Sure.
And not just me, Vijay, you have touched a lot of souls already. So
Thank
I
you.
would like to thank and bow down and
Thank
say
you.
thank
Thank
you
you.
once again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.